got the credentials, we're actually doing it, we've scaled up. We're not just on 10 deals or 5 deals, purchased 13 properties in 1 year.
Because the council have more tenants than properties, they need more providers, they need more properties. At some point it was like 70k.
But then I look at like Richard Branson or Alan Sugar. If you're not feeling pain, you're not doing the right thing in your business.
I was looking at some stats the other day, and last year the council spent over £2 billion.
I'm here today with Shaun Davis. Shaun is my business partner on the High Performance Academy, and he's also very, very successful property business owner. He's got a large rent-to-rent social housing portfolio. Shaun, over to you. Give him a bit of context. Tell him about what you've done so far.
Yeah, man. So I've been in property for 6.5 years now. Honestly, it's been a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Absolute roller coaster of emotions, ups, downs.
Yeah.
But do you know what? We're soldiers. We just come through it.
That's
and
it.
we've got the resilience to come through it. So we've got the resilience to actually go through it and push through.
Yeah.
And I think that's the key. And now we've got over 500 rooms. Now currently in the process of scaling nationwide as well. Social housing is a game changer. I actually started the business in 2018. 2020 pivoted into social housing. I was doing service accommodation prior to that. And decided to get into temporary and supported accommodation.
Yeah, so you've had a lot of success with social housing.
Yeah.
And obviously a lot of people come to us, we're teamed up on HPA, High Performance Academy. So people know you for the rent-to-rent side, they know me for the buying side. And yeah, it's working quite well.
Yeah.
But Shaun, obviously we're in Dubai right now. People might be thinking, what are we doing out here? So let's tell them, what are we doing?
So right now I'm out here working.
Yeah.
I love Dubai because Dubai is great for like-minded people. I like being in environments where I'm rewarded for working.
Yeah.
And I feel like that when I'm over here, very motivated, it's a very inspiring place. You meet lots of people as well. So yeah, been out here for like a week now, and it's gone really well.
Yeah, that's it. So we're just in my apartment right now. This is obviously a little podcast studio we're making it into.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got keys for this one. What was it, about 3 weeks ago? But I'm loving the building so far.
Oh, it's amazing. Honestly, it's the views are crazy.
Yeah, they are. But I know what you mean though about working up from here, because I've been here for 6 months, and honestly, I'm locked in. As soon as I've came here, I've just felt more focused. When you're around a different caliber of business owners,
100%.
business people. There's just lots of people doing, running their own business out here. So how important has it been for you to be around the right people for your property and business journey?
It's crucial. I would say being surrounded with high performers is crucial to your success.
Yeah.
And I would also say to people, find a way to get into bigger rooms, because it makes you think differently. You're only as good as your thoughts. So when you come and see a different culture, you see a different way of living, you see a different way of thinking, it changes the way you think, it changes your perspective, and you have a different outlook on life.
Yeah, I think one thing we've done really well is being authentic.
Yeah.
Like with our content we make on social media, lots of things are happening right now in property. For example, people are getting scammed left, right and center from, different, property YouTubers that are basically scamming people for their money. When it comes to borrowing investors' money, not paying them back. So I think it's important people know about me and you, is that we're not here to borrow money from investors and scam people. We don't do that.
Yeah, 100%. We're here for the long run. And I think for me, I've always had a long-term mindset.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of people seem to have a short-term mindset, and it's that short-term way of thinking doesn't last for very long, unfortunately.
In business as well, you do see a lot of people with a short-term mindset.
Yeah.
And it screws them up. Because say, for example, someone's trying to offer you a service, and we've had this happen to us recently where they will try and increase the price on you. And you say, look, that's not working for me, I need you to lower the price. They refuse to lower the price, so you go elsewhere. And guess what? Now they're like, no, come back. And you're like, it was too late, because I gave you multiple chances to give me a fair price, but you never did. So guess what? We will go elsewhere. It just happened with my laundry guy yesterday. When I said this is the last time, he's like, oh, no. But you do see it a lot in business.
100%. So you're going to be very, very switched on.
Yeah.
And be prepared to do the right thing as well. I think it comes down to your values, it comes down to your ethics and your ethos. And if you're thinking long term, it's easiest for you to do the right thing. It comes naturally. If you're thinking short term, you're thinking about here and now, instant gratification, and it's like you're sabotaging your own success without even realizing it.
It's so common, isn't it? It's so common. And there's even like a lot of property people, they've done a couple of deals and then they've decided, right, I can probably make a course and make some money here. Let me make a course. You might have done 4 or 5 deals. And instead of carrying on buying and learning and becoming very good at property, they've then just launched a course, made a load of money doing it that way, but the students don't get the best results because they don't have the experience to be teaching people.
Yeah, exactly.
That's another thing I see a lot.
Yeah, 100%. And like, I think for anyone that's looking for a mentor, look at the credentials. Like the credentials don't lie. You know, we've been documenting our journey since the start. You know, I've been in business since August 2018. So I'm not closing businesses down and reopening them. It's just been one business, property business, and it's been there since 2018.
Yeah.
I've just been growing it and grinding.
That's it.
So the proof's in the pudding.
Yeah. But when we teamed up about 3 years ago, one of the big reasons why we teamed up was because we've looked at each other and thought, right, we're both doing our strategies to a high level.
Yeah.
We've got the credentials. Yeah. We're actually doing it. We've scaled up. We're not just on 10 deals or 5 deals. You've got like nearly 90 rent-to-rent social housing deals, roughly.
Yeah.
You're losing track, man.
Yeah, losing track. And you know what? It's crazy because just thinking about that when we first met, we've come a long way.
Yeah.
We've come a long way. What we thought we was doing good back then,
yeah.
actually we was just grinding and we had the mindset.
Yeah.
And we was doing well in our own rights, but now looking back, like we're from where we are, we've just leveled up year on year.
Yeah, because I think when we teamed up, how many properties was I on? Was it about 8 or 9?
I can't remember, yeah.
I think it was less than 10.
Yeah, it wasn't in the teens.
Yeah. But we teamed up and then I think I had my biggest year because in 1 year, purchased 13 properties in 1 year. That was the most stressful year.
Yeah.
Because obviously when you scale, you do get, you know, those growing pains.
Yeah.
But I heard someone say on one podcast that basically, if you're not feeling pain, you're not doing the right thing in your business. So growing pains, if you're not feeling them, you're not doing what you should be doing. What do you think about that?
Oh, 100%. I've experienced it as well because I think that same year that you grew massively, we also had a massive expansion as well in our business. And it's like, I'm sure that year we're talking about 200 rooms. So again, that was just crazy. Lots of admin. And that also has its other issues as well. The growing pains are cash flow issues, let's be honest.
Yeah.
You know, you're growing up, I'm in the social housing game. I do multiple different strategies within the social housing space. And sometimes it could take me like 6 months to get paid from the council.
Yeah.
So in that time, yes, you always get back paid and yes, I don't let you down. But in that time, I've got to get staff. You know, the tenants need managing, the properties need managing. The landlords are still expecting their rent on time every month.
Yeah.
What am I going to do to weather the storm?
Yeah.
So when you're expanded, it's great, but then you're going to be able to find the resources to weather the storm in the meantime as well.
Yeah, that's it. And there's a quote you like to say a lot is when you lack resources, that's when you become resourceful. 100%. So I think a lot of people, they do want to get into property. You know, they might have, say, £10,000, £6,000. I think one thing we need to let people know is that it is possible to get started with less than £5,000.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
But I do feel like it's a particular strategy. What's working the best right now is a strategy that you teach our students and you do yourself as well.
Yeah.
Rent-to-rent temporary accommodation.
Yeah.
In a nutshell, what is that strategy and how can people get into it?
Yeah, so temporary accommodation, honestly, it's the best time to get involved now. It's basically working with the council and housing counter tenants. And those counter tenants are for different forms. They could be homeless, they could be, you know, domestic violence victim. There could be a counter tenant that's living in the council property and they've had a natural disaster in their house, such as like a flood or fire, and they need temporary accommodation on a temporary basis. So right now, the council have more tenants than properties. So there is huge demand. To put things into perspective, like last year, I was looking at some stats the other day, and last year the council spent over £2 billion.
Damn.
Yeah, on temporary accommodation. London, they're spending £4 million a day on temporary accommodation. So it's crazy. So this shows they need more providers. They need more properties as soon as possible.
Yeah.
So the way it works is very simple. You basically call the council to become a provider, but before you become a provider, you need to obviously present them something substantial, present them exactly what they need. So you find out these 3 core questions. First one is, what specific types of properties do they need?
Yeah.
What areas do they need those properties in? And also, what's the rent settings, what they're willing to pay? Once you've got this information, you then go out there, partner with an estate agent or find an estate agent that can pass you properties that understand the concept.
Yeah.
You're going to be able to competently articulate the concept as well to the estate agent and landlords. Lots of benefits of being government backed, etc. And once that's been done, then you find the property, close the property, pass it over to the council, become a provider. They'll send the surveyor out, and then you get paid.
Yeah, that's it. It's an amazing strategy, honestly. I feel like, if I was starting out from scratch, I probably would do that strategy.
Yeah.
I'd still be trying to buy as well.
Yeah.
But I would
100%.
definitely implement that.
Yeah, and that's the game changer. Like, obviously we bought a property last year, and look how long that property took to get started.
Yeah.
Now, most people, when they're first starting, into the property industry, they want quick cash flow.
Yeah.
They're in a position. We look at most of our students. They're in a position where they don't really like their 9 to 5. They want to get out, and unfortunately, doing the BRR, although it's great.
Yeah.
For quick cash flow, it's not the best strategy.
Yeah.
It's more of a long-term strategy.
Yeah.
So I think and that's why people, that's why we work well together in terms of the program that we mentor people on, because they get the best of both worlds.
You know what's crazy? When I started in property, I used to look at it as buying versus rent to rent.
Yeah.
I used to be looking down on rent to rent, bro. I'm not gonna lie. But now, as the years have progressed, and I actually understand the rent-to-rent social housing model and how powerful it is, rent-to-rent temporary accommodation, I'm behind it 100%. Obviously, I'm a bit too far gone now where it wouldn't make sense for me to be in UK doing that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because obviously I'm out here. I'm in Dubai now, got my place here. I'm actually buying properties in Dubai now.
Yeah.
So that's a whole nother thing I'm working on.
Yeah.
Today, I'm about to hopefully close my first one.
Oh, amazing.
Here in Dubai.
Yeah, amazing.
So this would be number 32.
Yeah.
I'm buying one more in UK, but it is stressful buying properties. And but I think each business model has its own pros and cons.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. 100%. I think rent to rent is great for solving the problem of cash flow. But of course, this is exactly what we say to our mentees. Get to £10,000 per month, 15, 20,000 pound per month. And then after that, start looking at owning the assets as well.
Yeah.
Because you can have the best of both worlds in HBA.
Yeah, you can. And the thing is with me, it's I don't want to be teaching people how to buy properties in Dubai until I've got a few myself. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But once I do get a few under my belt, I'm going to be teaching all that as well.
Yeah, that'll be a game changer.
Yeah. But I think right now, a lot of people are messaging me asking about investing with me. They can do that. If people want to invest with me, I will let them do that. But it is just focused on Dubai. But I'm getting some good returns here.
Yeah, amazing. So what's the returns compared to the UK? What's your thoughts in terms of the UK market and the Dubai market?
Well, the thing is, Dubai is the fastest growing city in the world, and it really is. It's it's a place where a lot of people want to be. And, there's huge demand here. So we have a building that a developer will list, that he's about to build, and it will get sold out.
Yeah.
So the demand is hot. The demand is really hot for tenants and for people that want to buy to rent out or for themselves. So the demand is definitely strong. I personally want to do a lot of Airbnb ones here. So I want to buy a property, run it as Airbnb. But I also want to do somewhere I'll buy it off plan and do it to normal tenants. The cash flow with an Airbnb property over here could be as good as a HMO.
Yeah.
So it just depends. Each deal is different.
Yeah.
But capital appreciation here, if you look on the charts, we're getting some crazy growth here, especially when you buy off plan on a discount. By the time the property is ready and handed over, you can almost make a big chunk of money just from buying it,
Yeah. It's crazy because I was looking at the stats as well for the tourism sector here, and it's growing every year because Dubai, like you said, it's the fastest growing city. It's the fastest evolving city in the world as well. There's so much going on here, so it's attracting more tourists every single year.
Yeah.
It's growing by the millions, so it's it actually makes sense for you to buy, then do it on Airbnb. Seems like a viable option.
Yeah, that's it. But I'm still gonna do stuff in UK as well.
Yeah.
But because a lot of people messaging me, I was just like kind of not ignoring them, but I was just like, I don't want to do more deals in UK right now. But I think main focus is Dubai, and I might still do some in UK. So what's your plans? What are you looking to do like going forward?
Yeah, I think just knuckle down and keep knuckling down, and keep growing the business. Like I've got this big goal of trying to get to 1,000 rooms, and I can see the vision, in the UK in terms of the social housing sector. The demand is huge, especially in the temporary accommodation sector. So I just want to continue growing that, and keep growing that really.
So I've got a good question for you, Shaun. So what is the best things about your business, and then what's the worst things about your business?
Oh, okay. One of the best things, genuinely, and I'm not just saying this because it sounds good in the podcast, but it's the fact that we get to change lives.
Yeah.
Like I done a reel. I don't know if you've seen on my on my Instagram.
You were interviewing the homeless guy that you housed. Yeah.
And when you hear stories like that, the guy like admitted that he could have died if it wasn't for us. And for any business that I'm involved in, like I'm the sort of person where I get bored with it easily. So if the purpose is not big enough, I'm not really motivated. And that's why I've never really lasted in normal 9 to 5s, because I'll do it for a couple of years and I get limited, and it's like, I feel like there's a ceiling.
Yeah.
Whereas when you're changing someone's life, it's like, wow, like we've got a big purpose here, a big mission. So I think that for me is a great thing, because it empowers me genuinely. It empowers the team as well, and we can all see that there's a viable process and big change. And I think the worst thing about the business, I'd say, is the cash flow. So even though we're a huge company now, it depends what you're comparing it to actually, compared to where we was.
500 rooms is big, man.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's a big portfolio.
Yeah, but what can happen sometimes is cash flow. So as I said, sometimes it takes us 4 to 6 months to get paid. So the great thing is it gets back paid, but at certain points of the business when we're scaling, and I remember in that year we was really going hard for it, from the council, and it's like you got to try and bankroll that until you get paid. So I would say that's probably like the hardest bit of the business.
Yeah.
And what would you say the best thing about the business is?
Best thing is 100% time and location freedom. Now I know that sounds a bit cringe, a bit like I'm an entrepreneur guy speaking about time and location freedom, but it's genuine.
Yeah.
Like being able to live anywhere in the world and still get paid, having a team back home cracking on. All my properties are either social housing, so I don't have to do any management, or they're with property managers that do all the management.
Yeah.
I still have to manage the property managers though. So right now I'm changing managers, or one of them. So, but I say the best thing is, getting paid regardless of where I'm at.
That's the game changer. If I was to rephrase my answer on a personal point of view, obviously I gave the business answer, but on a personal point of view, 100% time and location freedom is crazy. I'm here right now in Dubai, still getting paid for my business, still able to manage things remotely. It's about systemizing it so that you can do that. And from an entrepreneurial point of view, I can't think of who wouldn't like to have time and location freedom. It's just a game changer, isn't it?
Yeah, but we're always trying to systemize better. Both of us, and I think we actually help each other with our businesses. So like you've gave me some ideas for LN Capital. I'm sure I might have gave you some ideas as well.
Yeah, 100%.
How we can put our systems better.
Because things are constantly changing. And that's the thing now. Like, there never comes to a point in business where you think to yourself, right, this is all done. It's all systemized. I can sit back on the beach and relax. Things are evolving at such a fast pace. I've got AI that's evolving as well, changing the way the world operates, changing the world of business as well. So like for me, if you're not able to adapt, or don't have the willingness to adapt, you're gonna get left behind.
We're dabbling in AI. Obviously in our joint business, HPA, we are dabbling in that. We're trying to put some stuff together and see what we can do there.
It's a game changer. I love it. I'm so open to it. I mean, what's your thoughts on AI though? Like in terms of the way it's changing the world?
It's a bit scary, not gonna lie, because there are some negative sides of it. But I'm just hoping that they regulate it. I'll be honest with you, I don't usually like the government stepping in and over-regulating stuff, but I think with AI, they need to. Because that could go left and we could be warring against robots. And I'm not ready for that war. These robots will kick our ass.
Yeah. You gotta think the robots, they're like 10, I think it's like, not even like 100 times stronger than us.
Oh, man. It's
You have
crazy.
no chance. And then they're smarter than us. So you're trying to
a
fight
lot of
something
gym.
that's smarter and stronger. We've got no chance.
Literally. But Shaun, you know, one thing what came to mind on one of the points you were saying was basically when you're running a business, there's lots of other side businesses that come up. And I've been always struggling with saying to myself, no, do not open another side business because I'm constantly doing it. And I said that about a year ago, I was like, no, I'm not going to do any more. Because I've had all different types of businesses. Even since I've been running my property business, I've had like a custom shoe business.
Yeah.
I've had like load of different things on the side that I've realized all it's doing is pulling my focus.
Yeah.
Whereas when you've got tunnel vision on maybe one, maybe two main businesses, it does help. But then I look at like Richard Branson or Alan Sugar and I'm saying, right, they've got loads of different things going on.
Yeah.
So it's difficult to know if I'm on the right track or not.
I think the issue is those guys have these lots of different income streams, but if you look at their journey and if you were to look at when they pivoted, they probably made hundreds of millions in the first business.
Yeah.
So like Elon Musk, once he's obviously involved in lots of different things, but he had PayPal, and once he sold it and had hundreds of millions sitting in his bank, then he's like, okay, cool, what do I do then?
Yeah.
Whereas I think, but it's hard being an entrepreneur because, you know, we're very open-minded, we're very curious. Curiosity is an underrated superpower. That's how you see and spot opportunities as well. But sometimes it's hard when you see an opportunity, you're like, should I do it? But I've always been like, keep the main thing the main thing.
It's such a good point, honestly. And I think people that are watching, if you're watching and you're getting into property right now, don't try and do 3 or 4 different strategies. Literally choose 1, maybe 2, okay? Have your primary strategy locked in. Maybe you can have a secondary strategy, but definitely have the one main focus, guys. That will help you big time. So guys, we've got to shoot now because we've got a meeting we've got to jump into. Guys, just one final message from me. If you want to invest in property in Dubai, you want to buy properties here in Dubai, I can help you. Reach out, drop me a message on Instagram. And as well, if you're looking to get started in property in the UK, then have me and Shaun as your mentor. Okay, we run a training and mentorship program. We can help you to really start, scale and grow your property business using rent-to-rent social housing and BRR. Shaun, how can people find you?
Yeah, Instagram, it's @_Shaun_Davis.
Yeah, guys, check out the description of this video if you want to start, scale and grow your property business as well. Anyway, guys, stay tuned for another podcast very soon. Shaun, thank you so much, man.